Buddy, you still there? I just don't know. It seems like you're trying to speak, but you just took a hell of a hit. I just popped your skull so hard, your eyeball just popped out. And it is gross as shit.
Yeah, I'll find you.
Yeah, and clearly Negan finds you too. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today, this one's going to be doing a review for today, this one is going to be doing my last review for Invincible Season 3, this one is going to be for the finale of Season 3, this one's called I Thought You'd Never Shut Up. Damn. So, this is like the damn craziest episode of this show yet, and it's without a doubt my favorite one so far. This episode had my heart racing all the way fucking through. I mean, this one was insane. I think we had about a 30-minute fight scene between Mark and Conquest, and it didn't stop. It didn't stop once. It was mental. It was insane. But I'll say this, I mean, I fucking loved it. It was insane. So this episode literally does not waste any time. It picks up exactly where we left off. It doesn't even stall. It doesn't take any time off. We get right into it. And the fight is absolutely mental. I mean, just hearing Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Steven Yeun banter back and forth like that, I mean, it was chills. I can't lie. It just sounded like Negan speaking to a Glenn that, like, survived. You know what it sounded like? It sounded like as if, like, Glenn from The Walking Dead lived, right? And then, like, Negan killed Maggie, and then this is the representation of it. You know what I mean? And you got now Glenn trying to take out Negan. That's exactly what this sounds like. It's actually kind of insane. But anyway, point being, the fight scene was so good. I love seeing it. I love seeing these two kind of go up against each other. And you know what I liked in particular is that Oliver did not back down at all. Oliver was just as involved in this as Invincible was. And getting to see them actually fight this guy off was crazy. And you know what I like about what they did with him? As you kind of show the fight scene go throughout, they were going through buildings, they were fighting back and forth. Invincible was not doing so good. Oliver, you know, of course, covered him for a little bit there. And then he's like, I'll just focus on the kid then, you know, and he's just like, fuck no, you know. And then he went after him and stuff. And the gore was absolutely fantastic. It was really, really well done. But then, obviously, on top of everything else, you had Invincible that, of course, went down. You had, you know, Conquest that was going after him. But they start to kind of put these layers in here. Like, you actually find out from Conquest in this one that he is sent from Viltrumite, obviously, to take all these, you know, planets and all these things that he does. And every time he does it, it gets easier. But nobody likes him. Nobody, you know, cares for him. Everybody's afraid for him, and nobody really looks at him aside from just looking at him for, in fear, right? So the guy's kind of alone. The guy's kind of a lone wolf, and he doesn't really like that, and he kind of admits that to Invincible while they're fighting, which I thought was interesting to kind of add that layer to his character, which I thought was also really cool. But you have Adam Eve in this episode that wakes up, and she says, fuck this shit. She knows that she's been asleep for a week, and she knows that something's gone wrong. And the second that she sees the news, and she sees what's going on with Conquest, and she sees what's happening, she's like, hell no. She gets the hell out of there, broken leg and everything. And, you know, they're like, you can't even walk. And she's like, does it look like I need to walk? Which, fair point. But she goes after, of course, Invincible to try to help him against Conquest and against, you know, obviously what he's, you know, doing. And he's obviously not going to stop. And he just keeps saying, he's like, is that all you got? Like, you know, and it's this massive, massive fight sequence. I mean, he literally drags Invincible through an entire city of innocent people, you know? And just like that, you know, he eliminates, like, most of a city of innocent people. It's insane. The way that they have this fight scene go down, I mean, they go through space, they go through all these, like, cities and stuff, and then Adam Eve finally finds them, of course, and she unfortunately gets the shit beat out of her. I'm not gonna lie. It starts off good. She gets, like, the armor and stuff. She does pretty good against him at first. And all he says is, huh, cute, you know? He doesn't really take her seriously. But she gets taken down, and honestly, I will admit, they kind of fooled me there for a minute. I admittedly thought that Adam Eve was going to be killed right then and there. When you saw her mouth all destroyed, you saw the insides, of course, of her just being taken out, and she looked like she was on death's door. And by the looks of it, that's exactly what went down, but then obviously she came back. and she recovered, and she fought back against him, and she came back naked for some reason, which she also acknowledged. So I was like, all right, we see that too, you know. Yeah, Invincible, of course, gets saved by Adam Eve. He barely survives, and then they believe that they killed Conquest, right? And then obviously Cecil secretly has other plans. You know, he wants to get information out of Conquest. He wants to get information out of him. So they don't exactly kill him off exactly. They do keep him alive. They're going to keep him for questioning, and we will see more of Conquest in Season 4, which I'm very excited to see. But you have Invincible that, of course, gets saved by Adam Eve. Obviously, he has a scene with his mother, which I did enjoy, where she visits him in the hospital bed. And I did like the scene where, you know, his mom kind of said, she was like, listen, like, all these years we were waiting for you to get these powers. We kept pressuring you to, you know, be like your father, and look at you now. You're getting beat up all the time for this friggin', you know, planet, and you're constantly trying to protect us, and you're constantly putting your life on the line, you know. And she's like, this was my fault. And he's like, no, it wasn't your fault. It was my dad's fault. But she doesn't look at it that way and stuff like that. So, yeah, I gotta say, man, it's mental. It's an absolute mental way to conclude. And then we have Rex's funeral. We have all that stuff. We have Adam Eve, of course, that kind of shares a few words for him. And we have Invincible that's kind of, you know, listening to, you know, Adam Eve kind of, you know, reminisce about Rex and how much she cared about him. And she kind of starts to break down. And then Invincible kind of smiles. And she's like, what are you smiling for? And he's like, I just never even thought that you'd be alive. I thought for a small time there that you were dead. So seeing you in front of me like this is just insane to him, you know, and it's just mental to him. So we see them, of course, go back to his place. They kind of get it on, you know, and even with his broken arms and his broken leg and shit like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's pretty insane. Now we got Conquest, of course, that's going to be held. And everything is, you know, going to be pretty insane, you know, as we kind of delve into Season 4. You know, it's going to be a pretty insane fourth season, I feel like, as we kind of build up to this Viltrumite war, which obviously is getting closer and closer. So this episode is bar none, like, the best episode of Invincible. I mean, I don't even think it's close. The Conquest battle, the Adam Eve sequences, the Rex funeral, the just everything, man. I mean, it was insane. It was so good. The music was good. They had a little 9 Inch Nails there at the end of the episode, which I did notice. This was bar none my favorite episode of Invincible so far, and definitely the best finale of the show. I mean, hands down. It was so good. So, I can't wait to see more of just this storyline. I can't wait to see what the hell they do next. I probably will do some videos leading up to Season 4 as we kind of get closer, but at least in terms of Season 3, we're going to cap it off with a perfect 10 out of 10. This was a phenomenal finale. This was a phenomenal season. Invincible Season 1 was good. Invincible Season 2 was great. This season was like some other league, especially when you get to these last few episodes. They really impressed me with what they did here. So let me know your thoughts. Post your comments down below, guys. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, should have clicked subscribe. If you don't miss any other videos, make sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys really soon. More videos for Invincible. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies need a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a street fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.